Hi ladies, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to take a little bit different step and talk about my ectopic pregnancy story. I hope this will help a woman or anyone out there who needs help and who is about to give up on what's going on in their life if they've had ectopic pregnancy. And please do stick around and let me know your thoughts on this. And if you're going through the same experience, let me know in the comments. Let's get into it. My first pregnancy turned out to be ectopic pregnancy. It was painful. It was sad. I can't even explain the pain and the trauma that I went through. Now, to begin, when I got married, it was kind of difficult. I wouldn't even say it was difficult. I would say that I just wanted everything fast. I wanted to play God in my life. I wanted to, the dream is to get married, have a baby, have a family, everything. I wanted it boom, 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 boom. So I was trying to rush and I was playing God in my life, which was wrong. So immediately I heard of Clomid, the drug Clomid, and I heard of other women were taking it, and it was working for them. Like it speeds up like the reaction like of the egg meeting the sperm. So I said, let me try it. Let me buy it and let me try it. So I bought the drug and I took it, and yes, it did speed up. It did make it meet up. It worked. But what happened was that I guess it was too fast for my system, my ovulation tube. There's a right and the left. So it got stuck there, and I was pregnant for about 6.5 weeks. To be precise, 6.5 weeks to be precise. And I went to the doctor. Every time I went to the doctor was listening to my my heartbeat and was saying it was the baby's heartbeat. But the doctor wasn't understanding that was my heartbeat. So we're always happy, and the pain was so much, and I kept complaining that I'm in pain, I'm in pain. And I was living back in Nigeria, so I would call my mom and I'll tell her, and my mom was like, if your sister can have a baby, why can't you hold the baby? So I was kind of like, I have to prove that I'm strong. And I was really dying in pain. I was in pain. I'm like, if other people can have babies, why can't I? Because that was my first child. So I felt that was the pain that other women went through. So I was quiet, and I just kept being quiet. And funny enough, my husband just came back from work one day. I'm going to speed up this story. My husband came back from work one day. And funny enough, that day, when he came back, he came back at 5:30. I dropped to the floor. Once I dropped to the floor, he kept calling, oh, babe, what's up, babe? And I just couldn't move. I couldn't talk. I couldn't move. I was in so much pain. So we had to get someone to help us, to take me from upstairs, to take me downstairs, to take me to the car. They took me by the car. Back then we had a Jeep. So we took me by the Jeep and the passenger side, and they left me at the door to open the door and get in. It was so bad that I collapsed. I fell down, I collapsed. That pain, it is so painful. So immediately we went to my husband's uncle, who has a pharmacy in Nigeria, Alpha Pharmacy. Shout out to Alpha Pharmacy. So we went there, and he said we should hold on. Let's go to the a hospital, a specializing hospital. So no, that's not the first time we went to a different hospital, which is privately owned hospital. So when we went there, and the doctor checked. He puts his hand in my cervix and found out that it was ectopic pregnancy, that they could either do procedure was through your umbilical cord, go in and take the baby out, or cut me open. So we called the uncle, and uncle was like, no, don't do that. Come to it was a Navy hospital, I believe. It was a Navy hospital. So we went there. I forgot what they call it in Nigeria, but it's a Navy hospital, basically, where it has a lot of people who specialize in stuff, and not just a private hospital. So we went there. Luckily, we were able to get there. And when we got there, the doctor said that we should go check to do an ultrasound. So we went to a place to do ultrasound. The man that did the ultrasound was like, because I was trying to travel back to America, the man that did the ultrasound said, you cannot make it if you try to get on the plane. You're going to die in the process of your flight going there. He said his hands are washed off, that I should not travel. So already I was scared. I'm like, God, am I about to die? What is going on? That was when I almost lost hope. But then I remembered that I'm a child of the Most High God. I can't give up. If I give up, who else is gonna give me the zeal to keep going? So my husband was always there, so scared. Imagine getting married and immediately the next year you're about to lose your wife. So he was scared, but he was praying. He was there for me every step of the way. Thanks, babe. So anyway, so after that, We went back to the hospital because after the ultrasound, I knew I couldn't fly because we were trying to do the emergency air flight from the country to America so I could get operated on. But I couldn't. The doctor said, don't do it. So after that, I went back to the hospital, the Navy hospital, and I was there. And the lady who, the gynecologist who they wanted to operate on me was on vacation, and she was like the best. So my uncle called, my husband's uncle called, and thank God for him. God bless him and his family. He called his cousin that was in South Africa, who was in charge of the hospital because I think he was on vacation. Called him to tell him that, look, that somebody needs to operate on me immediately. Blah 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 blah. So it's who you know, really. In most places, who you know. So he called this person, called that. Then the lady left her vacation and came. Luckily, she was home. She rushed to the hospital, and thank you, Jesus, for her. I don't know her name. I wish I could find her name and tell her thank you. But immediately they started giving me injections in my butt. It was so painful. Injections to try to numb the pain, but I was screaming. I was in pain. Like, when I tell you, I didn't even care what I looked like, and it was bad because I didn't even I wasn't neat, because it just happened at home. I didn't expect to go to the hospital. I didn't expect anything. So I didn't even care how I looked. I didn't care how my hair was. Nothing. I just wanted to be alive. I wanted to make it. So to cut the long story short, they rushed me into the operating room, and they said the only thing I'm gonna see is just my eyes shut, and I'm gonna wake up in the room. I'm like, yeah, right, whatever. So, and really, that was what happened. And luckily, as soon as they took me into the operating room, my God, that thing erupted in my tube, on my left tube. It erupted. And if anyone knows about ectopic pregnancy, once it erupts, it's going to touch other organs, and it could damage other organs, and you could die. So immediately it erupted. So they couldn't do the normal operation, was through the umbilical cord. They had to rush and cut me open. I have a big scar, like a C-section scar. I have it. So they cut me open, cut my tube off. And then I was left with one tube, but I was left with my life. Thank you, Jesus. So after that, they took me back to the room, and my aunt was there. My mother-in-law was there because my parents weren't in Nigeria. They live in America. So I had such a great support system. My mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my sisters-in-law, my cousins, my aunt. It was just wonderful, and with that support team, it let me know that, God really sent his people. Even when I thought I didn't have anyone, God sent his people. So I was there, and I started to heal and to recover. And, and then I was scared. I'm like, would I ever have another child? I only have one tube. I just got married. And it's like, oh my gosh. Because, in the Nigerian culture, they so prioritize children, So I stopped thinking about what people will say, and I started thinking about what God is saying about me. I'm not a barren woman. I'm not. God is going to give me a child. So I started believing God. I started buying things for babies and things left and right, because then I had to, there's a trip I had to take to America. So when I took that trip, I took the time to go to the doctor so they could check. It was a dye that they shot inside of me. I couldn't really remember the name, but they shot the dye inside of me to make sure that my other tube was working. So I'm like, what happened if it's not working? I'm just so scared. What happened? But there's always a way. God always makes a way when you think, or when it seems like it doesn't, there's no way. So after they shot that dye, it was so painful. That thing was, I wish I could remember the name. It was so painful. So the camera was showing how the dye was going, and it showed that my tube was open. So I was like, thank you, Jesus, my tube is open. So ectopic pregnancy is not the end of your life. It's not gonna be the end of your life. Trust me, I'm a living witness that I made it. God was able to give me 3 children, 3 beautiful girls. And it wasn't because of me. It's just because God is a God that gives. He provides. So when you ask according to his name, he's going to provide for you. My pregnancy journey is really a lot, but this is just about my ectopic pregnancy. After that, I lost a tube, but still I'm standing. I'm alive. I'm alive. You know what it is to almost lose your life? I literally just watered down what happened, but I almost lost my life, and God gave it back to me. Do not let anyone tell you after you had ectopic pregnancy or anything, or miscarriage, anything, that you cannot have a child. I'm a living witness that God blesses his own. God is a provider and he gives his children according to what we ask for. So thank you all for watching. And if you want to talk about it, leave a comment below or email me. Let's talk about it. I could, encourage you in any way possible. Anything you're going through, if it's hard for you to have a baby, you could always call me. Reach out to me. I'm here always. So this is my ectopic pregnancy story. Thank you for watching. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I love you all. Bye.